Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today has actually been requested quite a bit on how I clean my brushes. However, I didn't have the proper setup to actually show you guys. I tried before and it was a complete fail. I didn't have a kitchen for a long time, but that is a whole nother story, and now that I do, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I clean my brushes. Right here I have my stand that I got off of Amazon for $11.99. It's a nice little brush stand, and definitely something, if you don't have something like this, it's not necessary to spend a whole lot of money. And I also have this brush egg that I got off of Amazon for $4.99, and it's really nice. If you can see the ridges, I wanted something like this when Sigma came out with their mats, but I just didn't want to spend the price for it. This is really simple. You just simply put it over your two fingers, and it helps you clean your brushes. So I'm going to go ahead and readjust the camera so you could see how I clean my brushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my sponge. This is my Ulta sponge. I actually just got this, and it's $4.99, and I used to use the Real Techniques one, which was nice until I got the Beauty Blender. And then my Beauty Blender kind of took a crap on me the other day, and so I'm on a no-buy, but I did need a sponge, and I heard great things about the new sponges, and this is only $4.99, so I picked it up. And I use the sea soap olive oil with minerals from the Dead Sea. My friend actually got me this bar soap, and I figured that this would be a really good thing to use to clean my sponges, and it's worked beautifully. So I'm just going to simply start out with that. I wet the sponge, and then I take the bar of soap, and I just simply go ahead and just run it across just like that. Then I squeeze it out some more. So I just keep on going ahead and doing this. I squeeze it out, and I pretty much just squeeze it out until all the foundation is gone. Make sure you get both ends. And one of the habits that I'm trying to get into is cleaning my brushes and my sponges every day, because I found myself cleaning brushes once a week, or even, I admit, sometimes, a lot of times actually, longer, and I would be standing here for over an hour doing this. But every day, this takes me about, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I guess we'll see in the video. So since the sponge is obviously nice and clean, now I'm going to take my brush egg. I'm going to put it over the two. And let's take this right here, this brush. Now these are brushes that I use every single day. My favorite cleanser is the Ulta Beauty Brush and Sponge Cleanser. What you do is you get it a little wet, and you go ahead and just spray a couple, and you take this, just like so, over the brush egg. This right here has changed my life. I used to just use paper towels, and that was such a pain. Make sure you get all the cleaner out, and see, nice and clean. Go ahead and I'll use this eyeshadow brush. Just a couple sprays is all you need. It's amazing how dirty it gets just after one use. All that bacteria. Now some of my brushes are stained up, and that's probably my fault because sometimes, like, I would go a month without cleaning my brushes. Seriously. Like, this one is stained up. And I don't really know how to fix that without damaging the brushes. So if you have an idea, but clearly it's running clear. So next I'm going to take my e.l.f. powder brush. Now what's very important is that whenever you wash your brushes, you need to have them upside down because you don't want them to get into the ferrule, because if it gets into the ferrule, it'll come loose and it'll break. Then you have to go out and repurchase it. So much easier whenever you clean them every day. Oh my goodness. Now this is an interesting one. This is a Laura Geller, and this is like a big sponge tip applicator like you get in the eyeshadow palettes, but this is really nice. And at first I was nervous whenever I first cleaned this, but I'll show you. I'm sure eventually it's going to wear down the sponge, but in the meantime, you still don't want a dirty sponge, and I only use one side of it. So, all clean. Let's go with this, my concealer brush. Whenever I use this, I hadn't cleaned it for like a week or so, and I realized exactly how hard it was and how long it took, because I just recently went to a concealer brush for my Benefit Erase paste because I couldn't stick my finger in it anymore, which I know is so bad to do because of my nails, and I didn't want to get it underneath my nails, so I started to use this little concealer brush. So it does take a little bit of work because I didn't clean it for so long, and so it is stained up. But the important part is to get all that gunk out. I really wish a lot of my brushes were still all white, but they're not, and that's okay. But I assure you, these are clean. Let's do that one more time. I think what really inspired me to go ahead and clean my brushes more often isn't just to save time. In a project pan that I'm doing, it's for the love of project panning, I actually put in brush cleaner, and I put in one container, the remainder of one container plus one. And stained up, but still really nice and clean. This is my favorite brush to clean because this is the MAC 217, because you see all that brown? Watch. Like I said, I know that this is all stained up, and it's not as white as it used to be, but look at that. Look at that. All nice and clean. I'm just going to take you with me to show you how long it takes me to clean my brushes. I'm amazed at how many brushes I go ahead and use in a day. I only have one face. What the heck? So here's a question for everybody. How many brushes do you use for your face every single day? I'm curious to know. Kind of like to take the pencil brushes and kind of just go right there. I'm going to take my e.l.f. smudger brush. I love this thing. I've had this brush forever. All clean. I take this side right here, and this is what I use for my under eyes to set my concealer. One thing I've learned is for the double-ended brushes, it's so much easier to just use one side of the brush, unless you're traveling, of course, because of the way that you have to store them. But if I do end up using both sides, I do lay it flat, which isn't, like I said, the best thing to do, but sometimes you just got to do it. Especially if you're traveling. The less brushes you take, the better. Who wants to take a whole ton of brushes when they go? I know I don't. This is my Mary Kay flat shader brush. I use both sides. Surprisingly, I didn't use my Sigma one today. The Sigma flat shader brush is my favorite. I forget the number. This one is good too. I like it. My mom got me this. Here's my Real Techniques. This is a setting brush, but I use it for highlighting. It's my favorite brush for highlighting. As you can tell, I like a variety of brands. You can also tell which ones I bought and the ones my mom bought for me for Christmas. It's like the Clarisonic I have. I didn't want to shell out the money, but I wanted one so bad. So I asked her for it for Christmas, and so she got it for me. Just like the Sigma set. And then the year before that, she got me the Couture Cosmetics set, which I know nothing about that brand. I've tried to look it up, but I'll tell you, I wish I knew, because they have some nice brushes. Here's another e.l.f. brush that I like to use. It's the contour brush. I actually like to use this for, lately anyway, for my outer corner, for the darker shadows. Really been enjoying this. I think it's probably because it, at least for me, See that? It's all clean. At least for me, what this brush does for me, it doesn't get into my crease. And it's more precise. I'm going to take my angled brush, my medium angled shading Sigma brush. It's the E70. I love this for my brow highlight. I have another one from Couture Cosmetics, which I also love too. I highly, highly recommend washing your brushes every day. If not every day, once a week. But seriously, you save so much time if you do it once a day. And my final brush. Oh, and I know this is dirty, but this is my Sigma brush that came with my brush set. It's the brush holder, and that's where I store all my brushes. Here's another Couture Cosmetics brush. I do like this brush. I do like this brush a lot. Not all the time, but sometimes. Depends on what I'm doing. Apparently, I wanted to use it today. I find that it picks up the shade Buck and makes it a really nice dark color. So it picks up a lot. It doesn't pick up a lot, it seems like it's more pigmented whenever I use this brush, if that makes sense. See, I think I added too much there. As you can see, all my brushes are in the stand and hanging upside down, and by the morning it'll be all completely dry and ready to go for me to use. They'll be completely dry. Absolutely love it. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, don't be afraid to ask. You could reach me on Instagram or Twitter. All my information will be in the description box below. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Bye.